From the day that she was born, she was put into the orphanage, and she lived there until she was 18 years old. She never had her own room. She never had, her own house or anything like that. It wasn't, I would imagine, a very nice upbringing for the first 18 years of your life. She didn't have those role models to say, this is how you do things, and, brought up 4 kids basically all on her own, but she always finds something positive. As bad as something will get, she will always find a good in it.
In those days and that time, any woman who had a relationship with a man and was not married, that was the sin of all sins. My mother she was kicked out of the family, and so she had to do something about this baby that she was going to have. And she went to a mission, and that's when they put me in the orphanage.
She lived there until she turned 18 on the south side of Chicago, an area known for its challenges. The orphanage she resided in was a large facility surrounded by walls and barbed wire, housing over 1,000 children. But out of the darkness, there was a light.
There was a couple, and they didn't have any children. And they called the agency and said they wanted to put somebody through college.
She moved from Chicago to, Albion.
And so they put me through college.
Moving from the impersonal orphanage, which had isolated her from society, Sonya struggled to adjust to the typical American way of life.
That it did not prepare me for, which there's no way it could, is going into a family situation.
Watching and learning from your mom and dad how to do certain things, and she just never had those types of role models.
I didn't know how to make coffee. I didn't know how to do any things. And I had to learn it very, very quickly. And I did.
Her preconceived notions of Christmas came from the TV in the orphanage. However, these were challenged and changed when brought into a new family.
What do we do on holidays? Where do I go when certain things happen? What is my place in the family? I seem to be able to do it. I don't know, we'd start laughing and doing things, and dear Sonya, you go over here, this is what you do.
A lot of things she just, never was accustomed to or learned from, the family environment that, most of us are in.
Despite those difficulties, Sonya found a family at Albion.
She was a Delta Gamma, and she's still very involved in the Delta Gamma sorority system, as of today.
And in that family, Sonya found a friend, a wonderful soul who lifted her up. Sue Little became her best friend and made an immediate impact in Sonya's life.
Oh, I don't know, Sue, we just since that together. She was the epitome of anybody going to college. She was president of the sorority, she was president of the mortar board, she was president every time she did anything. She was president.
At such a young age, Sue's vibrant presence, someone so deeply involved with people and organizations in the community, was tragically taken away.
We went to a beach party. On the way home, there was a young man, and he ran head on into us. And he killed Sue, and he killed her date that they were in our front seat. And I went from the back seat, through the front windshield, and back again. I talked her into going to that beach party, and she said she didn't want to go. And I said, I begged her.
Through this devastating loss, Sonya was faced with a challenge that she needed to come to terms with on her own.
A girl at the table said to me one day, that was 70 years ago, Sonya. Why don't you get over it? And I looked at her and I said, I live with it every day. But I know that I didn't put her in the front seat. I didn't crash the car. I can't get over it because of what it's done to me. But I'm still talking about it. And I've got a folder that has anything that was ever written about Sue. And that's how I keep her.
From the orphanage to different homes to living on her own, Sonya learned that adaptation and growth were congruent to a fulfilling life. Through the challenges she faced, she became who she is today.
We are more than we give ourselves credit for. Have faith in your own ability to question, to find answers. You don't need somebody else telling you this is what's going to happen to you. From when I was born and all the steps that I have taken, even if you don't know it, you're learning. I learned that I'm stronger than I ever thought I could be, and that I can make adjustments, and that you don't have to get crabby and ugly and all that. You can still be a loving, soft-hearted person the rest of your life.